Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited Thoughts and Opinions with me, your host, Naledi Masipa. And today, today I'm going to sound a little bit strict with y'all. I'm going to be very strict with y'all actually because today is not so much of an opinion. It is a thought, and it's more of an instruction and a piece of advice. So today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of us have done or maybe still do, which is settling. Now, my instruction that I would like to give to y'all is don't settle. Period. Now, maybe people are confused like, what is settling exactly? Well, I'll tell you two definitions that I found. Well, are they formal definitions? Probably not, but they're two definitions. One's from Quora. I forgot where the other one's from. Apologies. I was taught not to plagiarize, so it's not mine. It's not my definition. I was taught heavily not to plagiarize, so no plagiarism. But settling. What is settling? Settling is definition number one: when your needs, wants, and desires aren't being met, but you choose to stay anyway. Second definition is you're not fully satisfied in your relationship and you still choose to stay because you are either A, scared of being alone, B, scared of hurting their feelings, or C, you don't think you can do any better. I swear that's what the definition said. Those three things, those A, B's, and C's. Now that we've established what settling is, do you see why we could even cut the episode right here to see why you shouldn't settle? Your needs, wants, and or desires that you have in a relationship are not being met. You're not fully satisfied, but you choose to stay. That doesn't sound good to me personally. And before I continue, let me preface by saying I've settled before. I have. I mean, and I also will say it's easier to settle when you're in love. It's just love and liking someone. You give more grace and forgiveness, and you just have that benefit of the doubt kind of, I guess, approach with people, or you want just to give it chance after chance after chance, establish boundaries and maintain them when it comes to things like that. That will definitely be a conversation for another day. Pin in that, the concept of boundaries and them being maintained. Once you have those with yourself, establish them and understand that you cannot settle below those standards that you have set for yourself. In fact, we're going to talk about it now. When you want to get into a relationship or do something, let's not even talk about settling of a relationship only, but in any aspect of your life, you have a certain expectation or a standard or a boundary or a benchmark, whatever you want to call it. You have a point that you have set for yourself, and you say that the point is here. So now when you settle, you are kind of telling yourself that, okay, Bob didn't meet me here. Bob instead either met me here or took me here. And you went here because you stayed. Remember, you're dissatisfied, your needs aren't being met, whatever. That was the point that you said here, but it's not being met. So then you're meeting Bob here. It's brought down. You see what I'm saying? And when you do that, you're settling and you're staying in that. To settle means to stay in something that's not good for you. I would think, because I would think that the kind of standards that you set for yourself or the boundaries that you establish for yourself are things that are good for you, right? And you wouldn't want anything below that. So now when you choose to settle, you're choosing to be below something that you've established for yourself. So that's lack of maintaining those boundaries for yourself. So maybe establish the kind of discipline you may have to stick with those boundaries. Going back to say, I have settled. I'm not judging if you have, but I'm encouraging you not to. I feel like that's the point of this whole episode, which is what I want to get to, because I did say I was going to be strict, and I'm going to be sounding like, don't settle, as if I haven't done it any, as if I haven't done it before. And nkasi ke dire motho mo betere. Translation, I'm not going to make myself look like a better person when I've been put in that situation before. However, moving forward, what am I not going to do? Do my absolute best to take my own advice and not settle. And I've been doing it for a while now, and life's been great. Let me just say that. But going back to what we were saying, once you've established that certain point for yourself, try not to go below that, because you would be settling. Now, why to not settle? You are you for the rest of your life, right? And in you being you for the rest of your life, you want to be happy. You want to be around people that also make you happy, right? Think of your friends, for example. I know with my girls are the blueprint. They are the standard when it comes to excuse me, any kind of romantic relationship that I would be in, would consider, any guy that would even consider entertaining seriously on a romantic level. My friends, my girls, they are the blueprint. I swear, they help me not settle. Here's why. The way that they love me, the way that they show me that love, the way that they may spoil me, ride for me, the way that they respect me, value me, the friendship that we have, and so on and so forth. All these beautiful things. If my friends can do that for me, why can't you? They're a human being, you're a human being. They're different human beings, you're a different human being. But why can't you do that too? And by God's grace, and I'm very thankful for this, I'm loved in my life, Shame. I'm loved by my mother, my brother, my family, my friends, myself. So now, why must I sell myself short in that department of love life and not be loved right, correctly, properly, the way that I want to be loved, shown loved, or whatever? Why must I sell myself short in that area? It's not fair. It's really not fair. And it's not fair for for me, because I don't think I deserve it personally. I mean, you would think that when you think of what you could possibly offer someone else and you know that it's good, you'd want that good back. So if you are not fulfilling me or doing small things, man, bare minimum foundational things, that a perfect example in my life have been my friends, I'm not going to be with you. And I don't think you should be with them either if that's going to be the case. Because why are you settling? Why are you settling? I feel like that's a question we should ask instead. What is it about that relationship or that thing that I'm in? Like, what am I settling for? Why am I still here if it's not serving me any good in any kind of way? Or doing me good in any kind of way? And I'm not saying that life and relationships should be a very like transactional thing, or now it's like very tit for tat or whatever. Like, no. But like, come on. If something's not doing you good, you're gonna let it go. Right? It's like if you have a rotting foot on your body now, what are they gonna do? Amputate it. You can't. It's gonna continue. The rot is gonna continue to go. In fact, treat settling like rot. Because if you're probably doing it in your love life, you're maybe doing it in another aspect of your life. Next thing, you're settling in every area of your life. Ooh, sana. Ha! Saws. Saws. No. With a God that loves me so much and has such good plans for me, plans to prosper me, not to harm me, Jeremiah 29:11, period. Clock episode 1. But with a God that loves me so much, and has a bright future for me, why must I, like, it's hard now to think of why I would want to settle. So don't settle, guys. Sorry, I have to fix the hair a bit. Something that helped me, and I feel like this settling thing has kind of been drilled in my head, because one thing I'm very grateful for is my mother. My mother is a very headstrong person. She has raised me into this beautiful I would like to consider beautiful woman that I am today. And she raised me as a single mom. So she, before I went off to uni, she told me that I obviously must never, ever, ever, ever depend on a man. And something my mom has taught me throughout life is that, Naledi, you can have a man and have a good one at that, you know, but never depend on a man for anything. Make sure that you have your own, you know. So, in having my own, it doesn't just mean materialistically. I must have my own back. I must make sure that I'm loved correctly. I must make sure that you're treating me right. I must make sure if you're not doing those things, then out the door you go, sir. There's the exit, to the left, to the left. Cue Beyonce. Like, come on. But my mom has taught me, like, independence and never settling. When somebody treats you, that's something my mom has taught me, and I feel like it's why I'm so strict on it with anybody else in my life that asks me any kind of question like that. It's because it's like, bruh, number one, I'm not gonna allow you to treat me that way. I'm not gonna allow myself to be treated that way. Number two. Number three, I need to be happy. And if you're not doing that, eight, out you go and don't come back. So instill that in yourself as well, to understand that no, man, I have to have me and not settle. I mustn't stay, because now it even says you choose to stay. Where else does it say? It says you choose to stay because you think you can't do better, because you are afraid of being alone, because you are afraid of hurting feelings. Do you hear that you part? You, me, sometimes we have to look within and think, I'm choosing to stay in this. Why am I choosing to stay in this? Choose to go out. So and I will tell you this. In the point where you are settling, understand that you can do better. And I do want to say, maybe I may be pushing it, but I really don't think so. To an extent, underline and put in bold, to an extent, settling shows yourself how much you love yourself. Again, go back to episode 1 when we talk about self-love. How much you love yourself is shown in the fact of you settling. Na nakaketad. I love myself, and I love myself enough to know that if I'm not happy, I will not stay. I would just rather leave. I'd rather leave. So, guys, please don't settle in any aspect of your life. It's like, for example, this is what settling feels like to me. It feels like going to, what kind of restaurant could I think of that like is a universal, like, top notch restaurant? Let's say Nobu. I'm sure everybody knows Nobu, right? Maybe you may not have been. I haven't been yet, but you know that it's a top notch place, right? So, top notch place, good quality, high expectations. The bar for Nobu is set high. You get to Nobu, you order some food, and you order salted edamame beans, and then you have your miso soup, and then you have maybe some California rolls, salmon California rolls, and you're very particular with your order. Maybe you said no salt on the edamame beans, and maybe fry them, don't boil them. I don't know how you cook edamame beans. I'm just waffling here, but like, fry them, don't boil them. So, California rolls, make them salmon, add a dollop of QP mayo on top, and then for the miso soup, extra miso paste or something like that. And then let's say Nobu, who is known to be here, let's say not known to be, but whose standard has been set here. Let's say that is your order. You expect the best. Now they come and underfulfill, and you choose to eat that food anyway. You get it, and you're disappointed, but you don't tell the chef, and you're dissatisfied with your meal. It doesn't taste anything like you wanted it to. It's not your order that you wanted, and you still eat it anyway. Let's even make it simple. McDonald's. Let's say I ordered a McFeast. And then I said I want to make feast, double cheese, no pickles, no tomatoes, extra lettuce, for example. That's not my order, but I just want to say, for example. And then they get that whole order wrong. I see it. I'm disappointed. I see it's wrong. It's obviously going to be dissatisfying. Let's say I was hungry. I see it. I'm disappointed, but I still choose to eat it. That's you settling in a relationship. You see it, you're dissatisfied with it, and then you stay. Now, I will say what settling is not. Settling is not where you have that issue in that relationship, in your relationship. We're going to talk in the context of relationships. I feel as though it's so much easier. But apply this to any area of your life where this is applicable. But what settling is not, thank you, Jesus, what settling is not is you having your needs not be met, or your desires or wants or whatever, all of that not being met, and you're not satisfied, and you communicate it with your partner, and you choose, like, you stay. That's you fixing a situation, you know what I mean? That's you going through a relationship. You voice a concern and opinion or whatever, excuse me, and you work through it to get out of it and be better. That's not settling, because it got better, you're now satisfied, and you're staying in it. That's just a relationship. Settling would be if you told them the situation, or maybe the behavior has just been the same, or this is just who they are, and then you just maybe you're not catching the hint. I don't know. But whatever it is, that those bunch of issues are there, nothing gets resolved, but you still stay anyway. Child, please. And please pray for discernment when it comes to situations of settling, because I feel as though there's a very fine line that sometimes I struggle establishing, like, technically, where there's a fine line between settling and knowing when to fight for something, especially when you've established what settling is by definition, by the two definitions that we had in the beginning. It's like it's a very, like, flip-floppy. You don't know which side you're going to fall on. So pray for discernment to know when to sit and stick through something, to fight for it, because you know it's going to get better. Maybe this is just a phase, versus this is just what the situation is, and it's not going to get better, and it's not good for me, so I just have to go. Again, I feel like it would just be, again, about establishing those boundaries. I feel like that's where you should start, establishing those boundaries, or that standard for yourself, and being like, okay, here, this is where everything is for me. If it's below that, no. And pray about it, so that once it's established, it's like, okay, that's your benchmark. Anything below this, I get. So don't settle. Don't settle so you can live a good life. Don't settle so that you can receive the love that you actually deserve to receive, and that you can be loved the way that you actually deserve to be loved, and treated the way you need to be treated, and considered the way you need to be considered, and so on and so forth. Like, for all those plethora of reasons, don't settle. Don't rob yourself the opportunity of being loved correctly because you want to settle. You are probably, not even probably, you are someone's answered prayer, and you want to settle in someone that hasn't even thought about you properly. I beg, please, don't do that to yourself. Actually, remember that. I don't know, maybe it might or might not help you, but I know it'll help me. The fact that I am someone's answered prayer. Now I must stay with someone. Does he even know how to pray? Like, please, please, ladies, don't settle. Don't settle. Leave. Leave. One thing you must do is leave. And don't threaten, just do it. Yeah, one more time. Do not settle. As much as you can, as much as you can, as hard as it may be, because it can be hard, especially if you love someone, to, like, leave them, or to just be like, no, I can't take this. But understand that even when you love someone, love isn't enough, number one. Otherwise, there wouldn't be need for things like your loyalty and respect and so on and so forth. But, like, love yourself more. Love yourself more, to know that this is your real life that you're living, and it's about you. Actually, it is about you. So make sure that it's good for you. Again, as long as we're going to make these the three fundamental rules when it comes to doing things for yourself. Do whatever you want as long as it's not harmful, hurtful, or disrespectful to the next person. That will actually maybe be the next episode where we establish that. Those are my three rules that I live by in life, or my rule with three sub rules in it. Do whatever you want as long as it's good for you and as long as it's not harming, hurting, disrespecting the next person. So don't settle. Start today by trying not to settle. Please don't settle, because you're an amazing person, great human being, I hope. If you're not a great human being, become one, and just don't settle. Get what you actually deserve. Get the order that you wanted versus being underwhelmed and under whatever because you chose to stay. I hope you choose to do better for yourself instead. So, yeah. But that is unfortunately all the time that we have. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget. I never thought I would ever be saying this, but here we are. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, like, comment, subscribe, turn on all your post notifications so you can be updated or notified of when the next video will be posted and when it is posted and all that great stuff. All the socials, all my socials, podcast socials, in the link in the description. And yeah, I love you all. Well, I don't love you guys yet. Actually, you know what? I'm starting to love you guys. I love you guys. When I say I love you guys, I mean the ones supporting me. I love you guys. That I do mean. If you're not catching the drift, go watch episode 1. Stop by the bloopers, then you'll see why. But I love you guys. Besitos. God bless you. And good night if you're going to bed. Good day if you're starting your day. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend.